The great judgment is upon us. The great division is crystal clear. To the awake, welcome, light warrior. To the woke, welcome to your recruitment and to your initiation. To the completely asleep, great. Greenhorns aren't MK'd. It'll be easier for you to receive insight and wisdom. This channel is created through peace, love, forgiveness, and compassion. To the trolls, you're also welcome. It'll be an uncomfortable experience unless you're trolling with the intention to learn something. For the light will always illuminate the dark. Cheers to hoping you'll realize you've been rooting for the wrong team. The great shift is upon us. We're not the same people we once were. The tolerable has become intolerable. The silenced are seeking the truth and finding their voices. Picking and choosing daily battles are no longer choices, but a means to survival. The initiation is about reclaiming the power of our voices, realizing some situations no longer deserve our time, energy, and focus. Welcome to Face Your Fears, Claim Your Destiny Soul Therapy. My name is Sarah, and I will be your host. Please like, share, and subscribe. Welcome to the Soul Family. Good morning, good evening, good night, good daylights. It's Sarah here, and today on Discovering Lyrics, we're going to be covering Drive by the Cars. Now, Drive was the Cars' third single from the band's Heartbeat City album released in March of 1984. It was written by Mark Okazak and sung by the bassist Benjamin Orr. It's the band's greatest international hit. I mean, it's such a fantastic song. Anyway, this song, I've heard so many people's, just growing up. You know, my dad used to tell me it was about this, and everybody had their own idea of what this song was about. So I thought, let's break it down. Okay, so we'll start by reading the lyrics, as I usually do. Here we go. Drive by the Cars. Who's going to tell you when it's too late? Who's going to tell you things aren't great? You can't go on thinking nothing's wrong, but now, who's going to drive you home tonight? Who's going to pick you up when you fall? Who's going to hang it up when you call? Who's going to pay attention to your dreams? Who's going to plug their ears when you scream? You can't go on thinking nothing's wrong, but now who's going to drive you home tonight? Who's going to pick you up when you fall? Who's going to hang it up when you call? Who's going to pay attention to your dreams? Who's going to plug their ears when you scream? Who's going to hold you down when you shake? Who's going to come around when you break? You can't go on thinking nothing's wrong, but now who's going to drive you home tonight? Who's going to pick you up when you fall? Who's going to hang it up when you call? Who's going to pay attention to your dreams? Who's going to plug their ears when you scream? Like that's the lyrics to the entire song. And but it's a powerful song when you listen to it. You really need to listen to it to get the full the feeling, right? So the questions I had about this was, what is this song about? And I thought to myself, well, ambiguous lyrically, the song could be either metaphorically about an emotionally troubled person or literally about an alcoholic. The next question I had was, what thoughts, feelings, or memories arise when you hear this song? And for me, it was years ago. I don't know why, but the girls I worked with, we all worked in this factory, and for some reason they liked to go to the Crazy Horse strip club. And we were all, not that, everybody's, I hold no judgment with anybody, but we were all heterosexual and we were going to the strip club. And, it was kind of on a scuzzier side of town. And I really can't, it wasn't my idea to go there. I can't remember why we actually went there. Okay, let's hold on. We got a cat that needs to go outside, so I'm going to pause this for a minute and let him outside because he's a loud one. Hold up there. All right, sorry about that. I got these 4 cats and a dog, and for some reason, in the minute I get on doing something, they just seem to want to hang out. Anyways, I apologize. So yeah, we used to go, we went a few times to this Crazy Horse strip club. And I remember this girl, and she was just a beautiful, beautiful girl. She just, she just, it's like she didn't belong there. And I could sense that she was probably there paying for her college or something. It was just that feeling. Just a really, really pretty girl. And I remember her wearing a sailor outfit. I still remember her doing that. But then her last song, because I believe, how did it go? The first song, it was like, I can't remember how it went. That was a long time ago. But long story short, she was in this sailor outfit. And her last song, where she had to go completely nude to, because that's what happens in the last song, her last song was Drive by the Cars. And I just kept staring at her eyes. Like I wasn't there I was just feeling the energy of her. And it kind of almost reminded me of Tina Turner, Private Dancer, which I'm totally going to cover eventually. But it was that feeling of, she almost had this feeling of kind of being revolted, if that makes any sense. So anyways, that's an emotion I've attached to that one. I remember my dad telling me, because he loves to be like, Sarah, did you know this song's about this? And da-da-da-da-da. And he's the one that like started my passion for music, I don't know, from the time I was born. But he always told me it was about a prostitute. And to me, that makes total sense. Like up until today, when I did a little research, I was like, we're not research, we just seeked other people's comments and opinions about this song. Was when I realized that maybe it wasn't about, a prostitute. But to me, it makes the most sense. It would be about like who's going to drive you home, right? Who's going to hear your screams. Where the whole alcoholic part, I don't know. Like I think it seems like a lot of it kind of is intertwined together, if you ask me, right? But if you go and reference the actual music video, in the video, Drive is written from the perspective of, in my opinion, it just seems like if you watch the video, it's written from the perspective of a guy who's watching a woman whom he presumably used to date that's going like down the tube. She's on the downward spiral, trying to get her to take a hard look at what's going on in her life. So that's kind of what the music video insinuates. So then I went online, right? And I was like, I wonder what people's comments are. So I found that interesting. So where did I did save them. I saved the comments because I really wanted to go back to that, right? Drive the Cars. There we go. Okay. So let's go to my history here. I'm not sure why. Sometimes this drives me crazy. Of course I had it. Meaning. Like go to song meaning. Okay, there we go. I'll go back to where I was. Because there were some really good opinions. I was actually quite impressed with what people had to say. And I think this was the one I was on. No. Well, I don't know what the heck. I'm going to pause it for a second, get back to where I was. Sorry about that. 1 minute. Literally, as soon as I put you on pause, everything, I found it. Okay, so, this channel is all about people's voices, and the way I see it is if people are putting these comments openly on the web, then I can read them, right? So, this lady is Charlene Sparks. She was a former caregiver at a private nursing home. And her comment was, When I was younger, I believed the song was about a woman struggling with deep depression, and he would do the things, even the smallest things, just to show her he would take care of it all so she can focus on her mental health. Now I'm 46 and newly divorced from a narcissist that was mentally abusive and manipulative. I hadn't heard the song in years and recently played it on YouTube. I was singing along and suddenly realized this guy has brainwashed her into thinking she can't live without him because he's the only one that he had, only one that really knows her and how to take care of her. The young me had interpreted it as a beautiful love story. Now me, jaded, abused victim, interprets it as a reflection of my 7-year mistake. She crouched down in a corner, wishing she had the strength to leave him while he's saying, "Who's going to do this? Who's going to do that? I'm the one that takes care of you and no one else because you're damaged and you need me to feel safe, taken care of, and you'll never make it without me." Whoa. And there was a reply to that. Let's check that out. No, there wasn't a reply. Sorry. Okay, so then we have another guy. And see, that comment was from 2 years ago. And this one is from Neil Anderson. And this was 4 years ago. And it says he was an author. Okay. This says, it's sung to someone who thinks that they don't need other people in their life. The narrator is questioning this belief and saying that everyone needs other people to help them make it through life. Everyone sometimes needs to be picked up, paid attention to, and driven home. I don't think it means to be literally driven home, but to be attended and brought back to themselves. The lyric says you can't go on thinking nothing's wrong, which suggests that something is going wrong in their life, but they're ignoring it. See, I agree with that too. I like these comments. This other one right here, this was 4 years ago. Mary Ann Seidman lived in Cleveland, Ohio. Wow, this song has meaning to me. It was kind of a wake-up call to a lifestyle I was leading back in the 80s that I'm not too proud of, to say the least. I went out to a club with my girlfriend one time, and we somehow got separated, and I could not find her. She was the driver. She wound up running into her ex and hooking up with him. I started chatting with a guy named Rennie. The next thing I knew, I went home, his home, with him because I had no other ride. After spending the night with him, he did drive me home at dawn. And that song came on the radio, and I was wondering who was driving me home. I knew nothing about him and wondering how I could have done that. Now, every time I hear that song, I think of that awful evening. Right? Like a lot of people have memories attached to this song. This one was just, he just put this up on January 10th, 2022. When I say 2022, it sounds like 2020. So 2022. Wolf Jarl Gerbine. Okay. His reply was, according to them, it is about bar girls, as they call them. They go get drunk and leave with shady people. Is that, in this case, lead singer loves her, married the model, and instead she is wasted and drives away with this wrong guy and causes an accident. She never got home, but the way she acted was more mentally destructive. So yes, everyone's interpretation is their own, with all due respect. See, exactly. Everybody has a whole different feeling about this song. Okay, then we go into William E. Montague. And he replied 4 years ago. He just said, what a great song. The previous answers are all correct. Why worry about the meaning? Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the song. We have another one. He answered this last year. Mick Wagner, bass and vocals at Us and Them. I've never heard of that. Maybe check them out. Us and Them. Said, what? Okay, Okay. What kind of car did the Beatles have in mind when they wrote the song Drive My Car? What the heck does that have with... Well, there you go. That has nothing to do with um that's what I mean. You can find really good comments and then you're like, what are you talking about, person? Um let's see if there's any more comments to this. I really enjoy this. Okay. This one says general comment. Okay, this song has a slightly different meaning for me. It's one of the most beautiful and unique love songs ever. In a nutshell, anyone can love you when you're happy, but I'll love you when everything has gone wrong. I'll tell you the truth. I'll do what it takes to support you, even if it's hard for me. Put another way, this song is like the marriage vows, for richer, for poorer, in sickness and in health. Who really loves you? The guy who's going to drive you home tonight. Oh, listen to this one. This was a reply. Sorry. This was a reply from August of 2006. That's quite a long time ago. It says, having used this website for a while, this song finally convinced me to get an account to express my comments. I'm rather reluctant with that sort of thing. I first heard this song in the early morning. The sky was a beautiful orange blue, and I was on my way to work in a 16-wheel truck. I work as a mover. It's at the end of the summer and school is starting, but I've graduated and I'm not starting college for a year. The song combined with the heavy manual labor I was about to do really made me second guess taking a year off, but it's too late, as the song said, to change that, and instead it made me really depressed. To me, this song is about realizing a mistake, and there's no way to change it, fix, or go back on it. What's worse, there's no one there to know, help, or even feel sorry for you. You want to tell someone, but you can't. For personal reasons, or even not knowing where to begin, that's all being said. I think we all need to experience that feeling sooner or later. It's a part of life. Yeah, that's a wicked comment. I totally agree. Totally agree. What's this other comment? There's some good comments in here. Says, this is one of the saddest songs ever to me. It always reminds me of being at the loneliest point in your life. To me, it's being at a really horrible place in your life and on the verge of a breakdown and realizing that you're going to have to go through it alone and that there's no one there to help you. I think it's essentially about just being alone and having no one. It's true. It's a very sad, lonely song. Let's check this comment out. I like the song because you can view it from both the singer's viewpoint and the viewpoint of the person being sung about. The singer has been doing all the things he talks about, like trying to tell the person that things aren't going so great, picking them up when they call, listening to their dreams, driving them home, and trying to get them to see that their life needs to change. He obviously is in love with the person and would help out if he could. The other person is obviously self-destructive and probably addicted to drugs or alcohol and is usually in lots of trouble and their life is a mess. But they won't listen to the singer, or they can't or won't change their life to stop the self-destruction. The singer really loves the other person, but can't put up with them destroying their life and his anymore. So the singer has to get out of this relationship because he can't take the other person's self-destruction anymore. Plus the other person is not going, Plus the other person is not going to stop being self-destructive until they deal with their reality. The singer is saying, you have to change and I can't be there for you anymore until you do. He's really sad and maybe telling the other person he's breaking up and can't be there for them. Or maybe he's imagining how things will be without him there to pick up the pieces. It's sad for everyone, both the singer and the person who will be on their own, but can't stop destroying their life and everyone else's around them. It's a beautifully simple song with a complex and emotional message in the lyrics. Yeah, that's why I wanted to cover this one, because I'm like, that is like a powerful song. Hold on, I'm having a drink of strawberry water. I steep strawberries in hot water and it's just so amazing. Okay. Here's another one. This was posted in 2004. Wow. There are some. Oh no, I don't want to read. Okay, so there's a reply to that one. It says, I agree. I wonder what the message in the video was. In the video, the woman looks like she is in a rehab or a nut house. And they argue and break up. And then later, she is remembering the past times. So she's seen laughing and then crying. And then it's all over now. Okay, here's another comment. For me, Drive is about someone in a relationship with an alcoholic. I enjoyed listening to this song as a teenager, but I never would have imagined that well into my 30s it would hold so much meaning. It is a very sad song, which I can relate to hauntingly so. Every word describes exactly what I went through in a former relationship with an alcoholic. Ben Orr's voice brings out the helplessness that the writer felt, to which I can also relate to. Yeah, me too. Once you having a child with an alcoholic, it's hard. So there was a reply to that. It said, nailed it. That is exactly what the song sounds like to me. And the need for the ride home feels like a dead giveaway. Then there's another comment here. This is not a complex song. It is essentially about a woman with baggage and her partner wanting her to address it. I read once long ago that the Rick Okazaks had said not to look for real deep meanings in their songs. It's just a love song, but I never found it very sad. She has someone who loves her. That was more than I could have asked when I was at my lowest. You know what? And that's what perspective's great. That's what music does for people. And maybe the writer's intention was to keep it simple. Like I said, I once read, don't look for deep meaning in our songs. But you know what? Without knowing it hit people emotionally. Maybe that wasn't their intention, but that's just what happened. Like, music is a craft, right? Okay, so what's this one? It's a very sad but very resigned song. There was love here, but it's gone. Whoever Ben is singing to is going to have to go get it alone, okay? And then somebody else said, this song reminds me of an unappreciated love. It's about unappreciated love. Another person said that. Here's another comment from 2007. I feel that this song is about a male to a female. And the female and this male have an extensive long relationship and she has problems. She is thinking about leaving him. And he is just like, who is going to put up with all of your complex traits? Because obviously he views her as being a wreck and that he helps her to be the best he can. And he is sad that she may leave him. And as such, as that hurts him, it hurts him more to see her struggle on her own with a male that will not understand her like he did. Interesting. There's another one. Here's another one. When my ex leaves me to a new guy, I can feel what this song is about. Here's another comment from 2011. I've always had a hard time with this song, especially a line, you can't go on thinking nothing's wrong. Whatever the reason, the man is saying that something serious happened. Since Ben Orr passed away, the song has a meaning to me outside of the video version. I had several relatives pass away around the same time. 2 of them with cancer. My relatives would tell me that every day would be okay, but I knew it wouldn't. Working in the medical profession, I see way too much sadness. Just reading this thread is enough to bring me to tears. Aw. Here's another one from 2010. Unappreciated love for sure. The guy's obviously in love with this gal. He cares for her. He really helps her out in any way he could. He's been there to drive her home. He's been there to console her or even point out troubles the gal is having. But for some reason, she's been taking him for granted and she has somebody else. After all that he's been through for her, the fact that she still, what did he say? The fact that she's still ignorant to his dedication is killing him. So he can't be her fool anymore. Gotta get away. But still, somewhere in his heart, he still cares for her. At the same time, he's disappointed. He loves her so much, but at the same time, it kills him that he's not being appreciated, or even worse, taken for granted. So this time he's leaving for good. But before he goes, he's finally asking the gal and making her realize what she'll miss. Who's going to drive you home tonight? Song is kind of a wake-up call to the gal from the boy who's unappreciated by the love of his life. See, it's like once you hit, you get older into your 40s and stuff, like you've been through a few heartbreaks, and this song's personal. Like when I just read that comment, it sounds like that guy went through, like a heartbreak, and he's really connected to the song. So it's, yeah. Somebody else said right here, it seems pretty obvious that the song is about someone who is alienating everyone due to alcoholism. The alcoholism part, Then there was a reply to that. For being one, I confirm, and I always write, I'm always right. I'm French. I don't know why somebody responded like that. Here's one from 2014. It had 2 replies, so let's see what it says. I've always liked the song, but recent events has made me think of it in a different light. My fiancé girlfriend for 4 years has recently cheated on me. Since then, I started talking to another girl, not to get back at her or anything, just to get things off my chest, since she was cheating on me as well. We have become good friends and talk a lot. My girlfriend came into town and we went to a party together. She wanted to leave early to finish up some of her homework, wasn't interested in hanging out anymore. My newfound friend was the one to drive me home that night. Hold on. The man line in this song for me, you can't go on thinking nothing's wrong. Who's going to drive you home tonight? I am very hurt, and I can't see how things can go back to normal with my long-term relationship. It really sucks to end something that has lasted so long. Your life changes completely, but this song makes me think of who is really taking care of me. The person I once loved entirely that can barely trust anyone, or the girl I have just recently found who would actually do these things for me. I can't continue to think nothing's wrong. Wow. In the replies, it said, I had to say something seeing as your post is recent. I have a man that I've been with for 10 years now. In around our 4th year, he cheated and physically left for a week. We had huge problems. I lost everything and struggled with my job for a while. We stuck it out. It isn't always great, but if you can't be without them, then this is not a pathological cheater. Then start talking. What does it say? Come to some resolve to talk it out. Then put it in the past. It's hard as hell, but it can work. I worked very hard to keep up us together. He threatens to leave when we fight, and now I ignore him, and he snaps out of it. I got a lot of counseling, though. The last thing I want to say is if you can't move on, and there is a definite deal breaker, make a clean break and don't go back. Sorry. One big wound is better than many little ones. I wish you all the best and hope you find happiness. Absolutely. That was posted on August 19th of 2014. August 19th is my birthday. Then there was another response. God works mysterious ways. I think it was meant to be for you to be with the second girl, your new friend. See, that's what I think. Like when one door closes, another door opens. Like that happened for a reason. I don't know. Like that was a long time ago. That was 2014. So 8 years ago. I don't know what would have happened in this person's life since then. Let's see, maybe a couple more comments. I'm not sure how long we're running here. Oh yeah, just a couple more. Shut her down. Okay, it says, a friend of mine worked on a set of the video directed by a then young actor Timothy Hutton, who was a Taps in Ordinary People a year before this was shot. What the frick? The clothes-racked bar in the video is represented as the source of where it all went wrong in her life. Oh, here's the true meaning. That's cool. Now it's destroyed, and so is the illusion that the bar was always a source of her happiness, hence the black and white film shot in sequence. It's another nod to cut and dry black and white. Very simplistic. Right on. Pollyanna's character suffered from manic depression and self-destructive with alcoholism to dull the pain and depression. As you see her going through manic highs and lows and laughing and crying and drawing backwards on the walls with crayons. It is also symbolizes her dying out in an argument with Rick Ocasek, which they say the following to each other. Rick, why do you say it in front of me? Pollyanna, because they hollered at me, that's why. Rick, don't worry if that's wrong. Pollyanna, I didn't mean it. Rick was playing the father figure in the boyfriend role. The dividing line, they are separated by a white cloth. The line meant to resemble the purity line and she was a patient in a mental hospital, but her prison in her head was the mania and multiple disorders, and the bar was her freedom. But now she has crossed over and crossed the line and no going back. She had totally self-destructed until she came to grips with what she did and what she had fallen to. The end of the video is her clean side and rehabilitated side looking at her past and walking away from it after seeing it in a metaphorical context, that she destroyed her past and she was turning away from it to drive herself away from it. I really hope this clears this up for everyone once and for all. The song is about Timothy Hutton's vision with the lyrics he was given and the discussion with Ben Orr about the point he wanted driven home. It takes incredible strength to stand by and drive side by side along for the ride with a loved one with mental illness and alcoholism at the same time. Wow, there we go. That's exactly what see? Great explanation. Great explanation. I'm going to read that one more time because this guy has the true meaning behind the song. So I'm going to read that one last time and we're going to leave it at that. A friend of mine worked on a set of the video directed by a then young actor Timothy Hutton, who was in TAPS and Ordinary People a year before this was shot. The clothes-racked bar in this video is represented as the source of where it all went wrong in her life. Now it's destroyed, and so is the illusion that the bar was always a source of her happiness, hence the black and white film shot in sequence. It's another nod to cut and dry and black, white, very simplistic. Pollyanna's character suffered from manic depression and self-destructed with alcoholism to dull the pain and depression. As you see her going through manic highs and lows and laughing and crying and drawing backwards on the walls with crayons, it also symbolizes her dying out in an argument with Rick Ocasek, which they say the following to each other. Rick, why did you say it in front of me? Pollyanna, because they hollered at me, that's why. Rick, don't worry if that's wrong. Pollyanna, I didn't mean it. Rick was playing the father figure in the boyfriend's role. The dividing line, they are separated by a white cloth line, is meant to resemble the purity line, and she was a patient in a mental hospital. But her prison in her head was a mania and multiple disorders, and her bar was her freedom. But now she had crossed over the line and no going back. She had totally self-destructed until she came to grips with what she did and what she had fallen to. The end of the video is her clean side and rehabilitated side, looking at her past and walking away from it after seeing it in a metaphorical context, that she destroyed her past and was turning away from it to drive herself away from it. I really hope this clears this up for everyone once and for all. The song is about Timothy Hutton's vision with the lyric he was given and the discussion with Ben Orr about the point he wanted driven home. It takes incredible strength to stand by and drive side by side along for the ride with a loved one with mental illness and alcoholism at the same time. Wow. Okay. And I will just reread the lyrics to the song one more time, and I will strongly encourage people to please go listen to Drive by the Cars. You won't regret it. And then leave a comment. Tell me how you feel, how it resonates with you. It seems to affect everybody that listens to it. So I'm really, really interested in your comments, and, you know, any other song like this that you know of that resonates with you. I'd love to break it down. You know, get a hold of me, leave a comment, email me. Let's do this. You know, my email address is always in the description box. So here we go. Who's going to tell you when it's too late? Who's going to tell you things aren't so great? You can't go on thinking nothing's wrong. Oh. Who's going to drive you home tonight? Who's going to pick you up when you fall? Who's going to hang it up when you call? Who's going to pay attention to your dreams? Who's going to plug their ears when you scream? You can't go on thinking nothing's wrong. Oh. Who's going to drive you? Who is going to drive you? Who is going to drive you home? Who is going to drive you? Who's going to drive tonight? Who's going to hold you down when you shake? Who's going to come around when you break? You can't go on thinking nothing's wrong. Oh. Who's going to drive you? Who's going to drive you home? Who's going to drive you? Who's going to drive you home tonight? Oh, you know you can't go on thinking nothing's wrong. Who's going to drive you? Who's going to drive you home? Who's going to drive you? Who's going to drive you home tonight? Wow. Okay, so that's the lyrics again. That was a single from 1984. There we go. We're in year 2022. So what is that? 38? Is that 38 years? 1984. 38 years old.
Low battery.
38 years old. So we're 38 years later, and people are still suffering from alcoholism, mental health problems. Like, you know what? We need to really, once again, as I always say, we need to join up and help our neighbors, you know, take care of each other. Reach out. Don't turn a blind eye, because that's why this is continuing to happen. If you see someone, reach out. Reach out. You know, it's the worst feeling is to be alone and alienated. Trust me, especially through the last 2 years we've been through. I think we all have felt a little bit of that feeling. So I once again encourage you to please listen to Drive by the Cars. Thanks for tapping in. You know, I hope everybody has a fantastic day. Please like, share, comment. Let me know how this song resonates with you. Love you all. You know, spread your light, shine your love. Remember to always have peace, love, forgiveness, and compassion towards everybody you come in contact with and every situation you encounter. You know, if you can just come from a peaceful perspective, you know, a loving perspective, a forgiving perspective, a compassionate perspective, then the result will always be better than coming from a place of, like, you know, gaslighting and explosive feelings, right? Like, just chill. All right, till the next song. Thanks for chiming in. Love you all. Talk to you soon. Bye. Sweet dreams, or grand rising. Sweet dreams if you're going to bed, and grand rising if you're waking up. Either way, I hope today is so amazing, and today will be better than yesterday. That I can promise you. You just gotta, you know, choose your attitude. Choose your attitude. And if you choose your attitude, then your day will choose itself. All right, ta-ta for now. Ciao. Love ya. Bye.